Good morning, Year 10s. How's it going, everybody? Right, today's lesson, who was first in? Calista was first on the chat. Did I do it? Jack, you were in third, I'm afraid. Okay, guys, so I'm going to crack straight on today. We're going to run through the homework on RAM and RMM, and then we're going to follow it up with percentage composition. Nice short lesson today, guys. So I'll share my screen. Let's crack on. Let's crack on. And then I'll get rid of my face. Don't need my face today since I've got no clip cam. All right, we're in. Okay, guys, so I'll run through the homework nice and quick. I've got my calculator with me. Whoop, whoop. Oh, my laptop's doing funny things. I'm going to get rid of my additional screen since I don't need it. There we go. Right, I am aware that that does mean that I can't see the chat. Darn it. The problem is I haven't done YouTube in a while now. So I think it is probably worth me actually having the second screen, if I can actually make it work. Not that one. I need that one. Sorry, guys. Hang on one sec. Hang on. And then I'll move my YouTube video. I do not have my mouse. Is this going to work? Come on. Come on. Oh, thinking about it. There we go. Come on, there we go. And then I'm going to move that over to... No, I can't. Oh, I can't move it over. Oh dear. That is not actually very helpful. Because it won't let, because I don't have my mouse. It won't let me. Oh no. Go over. That is not actually very helpful. It won't let me move it over. Oh, so irritating. There we go. Irritating. There we go. I'll pop out the chat. And then at least I have the chat there if you guys want to say anything. Done. Get rid of that now. There we go. Now I can get rid of my keyboard again. Back to normal. Okay, let's crack on, folks. Right, so your homework was here. Got my calculator on standby. So it says work out the RM or the MR are the relative formula mass. It's actually not formula mass. These are a mixture of RMM and RFM because they're ionic and covalent. So oxygen, of course. I'm going to shrink my pen down. Let's be super fast on the homework. So we've got oxygen at 16 times 2, total number 32. Take it if you got it right, folks. 1 mark, go. Next, chlorine. Chlorine is 35.5 times 2, so it's going to be 71. Tick it if you got it. CO2, carbon is 12 times 1 plus oxygen at 16 times 2, total number 44. Ammonia, nitrogen at 14 times 1 plus hydrogen at 1 times 3 gives me a total of 17. Right, KOH getting much more interesting now. So potassium is 39, I believe. K is 39. Okay, I've got to check my table at that point. I don't know all the relative atomic masses. I just know some of them. There we go. Potassium 39. There it is over there. Amazing. So 39 times 1 plus brackets oxygen at 16 times 1 plus hydrogen at 1 times 1. Total number for potassium hydroxide, calculator on 39 plus 16 plus 1 gives me a total of 56. Tick it if you got it. Next one, aluminium is 27. So aluminium is 27 times 2 plus oxygen at 16 times 3. Total number 27 plus 27 plus 16 times 3 gives me 102. Tick it if you got it. Calcium hydroxide. Now it's getting a bit more difficult because calcium is 40 times 1 plus oxygen. Now this is the clever bit. It's in a bracket. So I now need to add that to oxygen at 16 times 2 and add that to hydrogen times 2 as well. That's the important. So 40 plus 16 plus 16 plus 1 plus 1. Total 74. Tick it if you've got it. Next one, iron oxide. And this is actually iron 3 oxide. because it's in a +3 oxidation state. So iron is 56 times by 2 plus oxygen at 16 times 3. So 56 plus 56 plus 16 times 3, 160. Take it if you got it. Calcium carbonate is 100. I know that one. Calcium is 40 times 1 plus carbon 12 plus oxygen at 16 times 3. Total 100. Next one, ammonium. Ugh. So this one is nitrogen is 14 times 2. I'm going to add that to hydrogen, which is 1 times by 8. It's the trick. Plus sulfur at 32 plus oxygen at 16 times by 4. Total number 14 plus 14 plus 1 time plus 8. I'm just going to do plus 8 plus 32 plus 16 times 4. Gives me 132. Tick it if you got it. I like it. Next. So that's out of 10. Let's go for the next one. How many have I got in total? 40 to go. Wowza. Okay. Next one, boron. Eek. Boron is 11. I'm going to get rid of this thing. I didn't want to open that up. Yeah. So boron was what? 11? Okay. So boron is 11 times by 2 plus hydrogen 1 times 6. Total number. So 11 plus 11 plus 6. So I get a total of 28. Tick it if you got it. Sodium carbonate. Sodium is 23 times by 2 plus carbon, which is 12, plus oxygen, 16 times 3. So 23 plus 23 plus 12 plus 16 times 3 gives me 106. Tick it if you got it. Iron 3 sulfate. Ugh. So iron is 56 times by 2 plus sulfur, which is sulfur is 32 times by 3, and then oxygen, which is plus oxygen at 16 times 4 times 3, which is going to be 12. So times by 12. So 56 plus 56 plus 32 plus 32 plus 32 plus 16 times 12. Holy moly. 400. Can I please have? There's only 20. The first is the same as the last. Oh, nice. That's good. I'm glad about that. Winner. Excellent. Can I just quickly have a quick show of hands? Did everyone else get 400 for that? Just quick show of hands, please, folks. Who got 400 for number 13? That's massive. Next, zinc hydroxide. I have no idea what zinc is. 64? 65. So close. So I've got zinc at 65 plus oxygen. Brackets oxygen at 16 times 2. 400. Yes, well done. 16 times 2 plus hydrogen at 1 times 2. Total number 65 plus 16 plus 16 plus 2 gives me 99. Tick it if you got it. Next, nitric acid. Oh, that's nice. Hydrogen at 1 plus nitrogen at 14 plus brackets oxygen at 16 times 3. Close bracket. 1 plus 14 plus 16 times 3 gives me 63. Tick it if you've got it. Calcium hydrogen carbonate. Oh, Jack got 336. I'm going to say, Jack, you're probably wrong, since I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people who got the same answer as me. We can always check it, though. We can always Google it. Calcium hydrogen carbonate. Calcium is 40 plus, right, this is the tricky bit, hydrogen times 1 times 2 plus carbon, which is 12 times 2 plus, this is the really hard one, 6, plus oxygen at 16 times 6. Calculator, 40 plus 2 plus 12 plus 12 plus 16 times 6, which gives me 162. Tick it if you've got it. Right, now these are our hydrated salts. Yeah, so we now have sodium at 23 times 2. I'm going to add that to carbon 12 plus oxygen 16 times 3 plus, now this is where it's really useful knowing water. Water weighs itself 18. Just to show you that, water has an MR of 18 because hydrogen is 1 times 2 plus oxygen at 16. Water, it's handy to know that. Water is 18, and I've got 10 of them, plus 10 times 18. Add it up, so 23 plus 23 plus 12 plus 16 times 3 equals plus 18 times 10. 18 times 10. Go. 286. Tick it if you've got it. Next. Okay, next one. Again, nice one for the hydrated. So we've got magnesium at 24. We've got sulfur at 32. And we have oxygen at 16 times 4. I'm then going to add to it 7 times 18, because water's 18 and I have 7 of them. So let's add that up. So we now have 24 plus 32 plus 16 times 4 equals, I don't know my calculator very well, plus bracket 7 times 18, close brackets, 246. Tick it if you've got it. Hydrated copper sulfate, 249.5, I believe. Let's check it. Copper is 63.5 plus sulfur at 32 plus oxygen at 16 times by 4. I'm then going to add to it 5 times 18. Right, 63.5 plus 32 plus 16 times 4 equals plus brackets 5 times 18. Know your calculator. 249.5. Nice. Sad that I know that MR. Right, iron hydrated iron 2 sulfate. And it's iron 2 because sulfate is SO4 2 minus. Therefore, iron must be Fe2 plus to cancel out the charge. Water has no charge. So this is iron 2 hydrated iron 2 sulfate. But it makes no difference for the MR, or the RFM in this case. So iron is 56 plus sulfur at 32 plus brackets oxygen at 16 times 4 plus brackets 7 times 18. So 56 plus 32 plus 16 times 4. I do that in one go, and then I do the little add on my 7 times 18 trick. It's only because I don't know my calculator very well. 278, and I'm done. That's the end of the homework. 20 questions. How outstanding is that? Right, guys, can you please now just, all you need to do is add a 20 score sheet, please. Score sheet. Can you please add to the score sheet? Add a 20. Winner. Let's go to year 10s. There we go. So we can now do homework into that one there. It's thinking about it. No, it's not. Oh, there we go. This is RAM/RMM homework. I like it. And it was out of 20. There we go. It's out of 20. 27 out of 20. There we go. And then what I can now do is, with my little pen, just shrink that down to there, and then make that flip up to there, like that. Perfect. And then I can centralize it. Try and make that a little bit more even with the rest, and then I can just go center in the middle, winner. No, don't like it in the middle. Don't like that. Like it to be at the bottom. There we go. Better. Look at that. Zina, 20 out of 20. Callista, 20 out of 20. Smashed it. Well done, folks. Very impressed. Good job. Good job, everybody. Wow. Really impressed. I also am quite impressed with the fact that I got 20 out of 20. Can I just point out, I would happily take, if I made a mistake on that homework, I would have been totally fine with that. It's not an easy exercise. It takes practice and errors. It's all, most of the time, a calculator error. I would expect to make, a mistake, maybe 1 in 20, maybe. I think that's a reasonable thing. But guys, I'm super impressed. Well done. Owen, 20 out of 20. Lauren, 16 out of 20. Still a great score, Lauren. Really proud of you. Jack, 16 and a half. Jack, how did you get 0.5? How's that a thing? I have no idea how you did that, Jack. How'd you get a half mark? I don't know how you get a half mark, Jack. I'm so impressed. Loads of 20s. Really impressed. Wow. 20 out of 20. Outstanding. Navina, can you put your score in? Jade, Henry, Gayatri, can you put your score in? Vincent, Tanisha, can you put your score in, please? That would be grand. He's made me a little note. I got one wrong because of rounding. Ah, okay, Jack. Yeah, I'll give you that. That's fine. I understand that. Navina, well done. 19 out of 20. Wow, you guys have really understood my. So I added a comment. I know you did, Jack. It's fab. Thank you. Need Henry to put his score in, Gayatri to put her score in, Vincent and Tanisha and Ian to put their scores in now, please. That'd be great. Just be nice to have a general view of everyone's work and how they're getting on here, guys. Can I say how impressed I am with you guys? Well done. You've done a really good job there. I'm really, really pleased. Right, for the people on YouTube, don't want to be looking at this chat. I will then, Jade, 20 out of 20, well done. Right, let's go to today's lesson. Okay, so today's lesson is percentage composition. Percentage composition. Percentage composition. This is a nice, easy lesson today. Okay, so percentage composition. So this title, the first thing is, when I was in school, I never liked it when teachers would use fancy words, and I never really understood why. I was just like, I don't understand what you're saying to me. So percentage composition is quite literally the percentage, what is wrong with me today? The percentage of X in a compound. Now, even that I don't really like. I still think to myself, if I was in school, I wouldn't like that. What we now need to do is we need to put this into a question context. So, question, what percentage, I have no idea what my computer's doing, by the way, it's doing this weird thing with the rating. What percentage is calcium in limestone? You guys have to know limestone, by the way. You have to know that you can turn the word limestone into its formula. You've got to know that, or formula. You've got to know that. So the percentage composition is simply stating what percentage is something in a compound. So, and it's a nice, easy lesson today. So the first thing is we need an equation. So percentage composition equals wanted MR over total MR times 100. That's it. Now this will make more sense. When you guys start doing the questions. So let's look at the question I just gave you guys. What is the percentage of calcium in limestone? So the first thing that we need to do is figure out what is wanted. Yeah, so the wanted MR. I don't like doing it like that because it looks like I'm adding a line to it. The wanted MR. So the wanted MR here was calcium. And there's the calcium in calcium carbonate. So what I'm now going to do to answer my question, So I want calcium's MR. Now, what we've got here is percentage composition equals wanted MR. And I have got calcium at 40 times by 1. And the reason being is just to add on a little clarification here. That is the number of calciums in limestone. So if there was 2 of them, I'd have to multiply it by 2. The next thing is the total. So the total MR is for the whole thing. And the great thing is, the reason why I love limestone so much is because it has an MR of 100. So the MR of limestone is 100. Let's explain why. Because calcium weighs 40, I've got 1 carbon at 12 and oxygen at 16 times 3. The total for limestone is 100. Now, just to say, One of the most common mistakes that students make at this point is they write this here, there. You're not allowed to do that in an exam. I'm just warning you. Yeah? So in this case, I now need to do times 100. So my final calculation is 40 over 100 times 100. So the calcium in limestone is 40%. This is not difficult. Let's now have another question in regards to limestone. So, question number 2. What percentage, what is the percentage composition? That's what they'll actually say in your GCSE exam, by the way. So I'm giving you the exam style question. What is the percentage composition of carbon in limestone? In limestone. Okay, guys. Now, since we went through the first one, can everyone now have a go at the second one? And on the YouTube chat, please give me your percentage, please. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to do this. Less. I'm going to give you 1 minute to do this, please. So, the steps in the process. Step number 1. I'm going to show you where your marks come from. Step number 1. The first mark. Kefren. Really? I got 75%. Kefren, 75% of carbon. Thank you, Zaina. Step number 1, percentage composition. Oh, sorry. Percentage composition. Kefren, check your answer. Percentage composition equals wanted MR. Whoops. Wanted MR over total MR times 100. 1 mark for writing down the equation. Step number 2, do this in red. Step 2, input my numbers. Yeah, no, I didn't know what the question was. Aha! Nice, fair enough. Percentage of carbon in limestone. So, next, percentage composition. I'll do that, I'm going to stick to red. Percentage composition, I'm just going to write percentage comp, equals, so my wanted MR was carbon. Now limestone is CaCO3, and there is 1 carbon in it. So this is now carbon 12 times by 1 over the total of 100, which is the MR of limestone, times 100. So I get a lovely answer of 12%. So the 3 marks, there's only 2 steps, but 3 marks. The marks are for the equation, the input of the numbers. It's basically this thing here, by the way. As I said, I'm going to show you what students do. Students do this. Yeah, please don't, that will not get you the mark. It will not get you the mark. That there is not allowed. The reason being is the number is 100, you need to have it. Yeah, and then the final mark for 12%. So those are your 3 marks. Right, well done to everyone getting 12%. Let's now run it for oxygen. So question number 3. Q3. Percentage composition of oxygen in limestone. So limestone, once again, CaCO3. Okay, step number 1 in green. Step 1, write down my equation. Percentage comp equals wanted MR over total MR times 100. 1 mark. Step 2, input your data and produce an answer. So percentage comp equals, right, this time I've got oxygen at 16, but there are 3 of them. So 16 times 3, all over 100 times 100, and I get, I'm going to do this with my calculator, 16 times 3 over 100 times 100, and I get 48%. And this makes total sense, because if we now add up the limestone, the carbon, and the oxygen, I will get 100%. composition. So it all adds up, which is quite nice to see. Well done, guys, getting that one right. Right, let's now make this harder. So at that point, technically, I can end my lesson. All we're now going to do is just do some nice questions. Okay, so the question here. So I'm going to set you 3 questions. Question number 1, I want the percentage composition of, let's make this horrible, of hydrogen in glucose. C6H12O6. Off you go. Question number 2. What is the percentage composition of H2O in hydrated copper 2 sulfate? We've already done the MR, you see, for that one. That'd be nice. I like that. What is the percentage of water in hydrated copper 2 sulfate? That's blue, by the way. It's nice to give us colors at this point. Always lovely to link stuff in chemistry. That there is blue. Sorry if you can't read that. I'll go in a bit. Last question. Question number 3. What is the percentage composition of, okay, how hard am I going to go? Okay. What is the percentage composition of nitrogen percentage composition of nitrogen in ammonium phosphate? Oh, I want to do something better. Ammonium, no, that wouldn't work. Oh, that's not as good. Yeah, I'll just stick with that. Oh, no, I want to do something cool there. I'll stick with this for now. I'll do one more. Question 4, percentage composition of nitrogen in ammonium nitrate. I like it. There we go. 4 exam questions. Off you go, folks. What I'd like you to do now, guys, is pause the video, have fun doing them, and then when you're ready and you've done all 4 questions, if you get stuck on the first one, then have a go at the first one, unpause it, watch my answer, then repause it, and have a go on to question number 2. These are getting steadily harder as you move through them. Okay, so when you're ready, unpause. So I want step number 1, percentage comp equals wanted MR over total MR times 100, 1 mark. Next, input my numbers and get an answer. Percentage comp equals, right, hydrogen in glucose. So hydrogen is 1, but there's 12 of them. Over the total, right, what does this weigh? Carbon is 12 times 6, plus hydrogen at 1 times 12, and oxygen at 16 times 6, which is 180 for glucose. Love it. So over 180, there's my second mark. Yeah, times 100, easy to forget. So 12 over 180, and I get an answer. Times 100 gives me an answer of 6.7%, 6.67%, 360. I like it. Tick it if you got it, folks. 3 marks. Tick, 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 tick. Next one, water in hydrated copper 2 sulfate. So, step number 1. Notice that I'm doing the same thing you guys are. I'd hope you guys would realize that I'm writing it with you. Yeah, so this is wanted MR over total MR times 100. 1 mark. Next, input my data. So percentage comp, what am I after? Water, I've got 5 waters. So water is 18 times 5, because water weighs 18, over, now we already did this total in the homework, 249.5 times 100 equals. And by the way, 1 mark for 249.5. So 18 times 5 equals 90. 90 over 249.5 times 100. And I get 36.1%. 3 sig fig. Tick it if you got it. Next. So this one was a tricky one. Step number 1, percentage composition equals wanted MR over total MR times 100. Lots of students forget the 100. 1 mark for that guy. Next, percentage, I'm going to input my data and get a number. Percentage composition equals, what am I after? Nitrogen in. There's 3 of them. Nitrogen, which is 14 times 3, all over the total. Gonna have to work out the total of this guy. So nitrogen is 14 times 3. I'm doing it separately because this number must be the full number. Yeah, nitrogen 14 times 3 plus hydrogen, 1 times 12 plus phosphorus, 31, I believe. Yeah, phosphorus at 31, P31 plus oxygen 16 times 4. Let's total all that up. 14 plus 14 plus 14 plus 12 plus 31 plus 16 times 4. Go. 149. So over here I put 149. Tick for that number. So 14 plus 14 plus 14 equals 42. So 42 over 149 times 100 gives me 28. Final answer. Don't forget the times 100 in your equation. 28.2%. Tick it if you got it. Last one, I just wanted to show you that the nitrogens could be separated in this example. So step number 1, percentage comp equals wanted MR over total MR times 100. Ticket 1 mark. Right, I want nitrogen. There are 2 nitrogens in this. So input my data and give me a number. 14, nitrogen 14 times 2. Even though they're separate, it doesn't make any difference over the total. So I've got 14 plus 4. Shouldn't do it, it's a bad habit. 1 times 4 plus 14. I'm doing a Russian accent. Do not know why. 16 times 3. It's a terrible Russian accent. I'm really, really bad at a Russian accent. 14 plus 4 plus 14 plus 16 times 3 gives me 80. So it's over 80 times 100. Times 100. 14 times 2 is 28. Over 80 times 100 equals 35. There we go. And that's the end of it. We're done. 35.0 technically to 3 sig fig. Nice to do that. Ooh, yeah. Right, guys. That's the end of the lesson for today. I hope that all made sense. I hope you guys understood what was going on. I'm going to end my YouTube video now at this point. It has been an absolute pleasure. I will see you guys soon. Have a great rest of your day. See you later, folks. Bye now.